All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the RNCC July meeting. It's July 14th, 7:04. Hope everybody had a safe and sane 4th of July. Rock, would you care to lead us through the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you. It is time for introductions with president's reports. But before we get to that, I'd like to say that this meeting will be video recorded. Remember to be respectful of our speakers and ask questions that are on topic and respect other people's time. So here we go, introductions. Rock Brown, if you have a report.
Rock Brown, Sergeant of Arms, RNCC, and Treasurer of the East Richmond Neighborhood Council. I want to turn to online if Jim Hansen, our president, is out there and he can give the report.
Thank you.
Jim
Hi,
Hansen.
everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, thanks. Okay, just getting my act together here real quickly. Thanks. Okay, so just a short report. Of course, we've got a dumpster day coming up, and I just want to say that, you know, looking back, talking with Rock a little earlier this evening, several years ago, long story short, we filed an appeal on a decision by the Planning Department and the Planning Commission for a Dollar Tree. And the main concerns were really to protect the neighbors from sound, you know, light, glare, just in the traffic safety issues, which are that very busy corner. So I guess I just want to say that it took a long time. It took a lot of attention by neighbors, but and actually we did get some help from our council member, but I think, managed to get a number of the conditions so that the neighbors, that this store could open, but that the neighbors could be protected, and included striping, restriping, and a traffic safety study that was not required previously by the Planning Commission. So I don't know, it's kind of a thanks to our neighbors and taking some work and getting things done. So I'll just leave it there and wish everybody a happy summer and that they get their garbage picked up. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Garland Ellis, President of Richmond Annex Neighborhood Council, Director at Large for the RNCC. The most recent meeting that we held was a committee meeting a week ago. And that was to plan some of our neighbor-to-neighbor events. We have a National Night Out coming up. And then the following Saturday, we have, which will be August the 9th, we'll have a safety fair. We're hoping to have our dumpster day on July the 26th. And that was sort of up in the air and down in the air, and now maybe it's back up in the air. And that's the events that are coming up in the near future.
Thank you. My name is Ardo Rentila. I'm the president of the Fairmead Hilltop Neighborhood Council. We're not going to be having a meeting until September, but we are having our dumpster day in a month. I'm also the chair of the West County Wastewater District and the chair of the RNCC. And I did want to mention that I went to a mayor's conference Thursday, and District Attorney Diane Beckton, who is being recalled or trying to be recalled, did a presentation, and it was very interesting with the advent of artificial intelligence, how they can screen through hundreds and thousands of hours of video, and just by using AI, they can go through it super fast. And there's going to be some changes on the way police do their reports. They're going to be taking race out of the report so that there aren't any identifiers that way. So all in all, they're doing a really great job in the DA's office, and I look forward to hearing more from them. I also wanted to mention that Crime Prevention Officer Michelle Milam had posted on social media that COVID is making a big comeback in some areas, so please continue to wash your hands, be vigilant, and take care of yourselves. And then John Joya sent a message prior to this meeting about the Republic Services and picking up trash. They are going to continue, they are going to start picking up trash, only the brown cans. You're allowed to put out, I think, up to 4 bags next to the brown cans, but they are not going to be picking up any recyclables or green waste here until they've gotten a better handle on this. So that is my report, and I'd like to pass it on to Marina Bay.
Marina Bay. Good evening, everyone. Margarita Minas, President of Marina Bay Neighborhood Council, and also member of Richmond Neighborhood Council. 2 events upcoming for August. August 2nd is our dumpster day. And we have 2 locations, Melville Square and Shimada Park. And the second event is our end-to-end event. That's going to be at Marina Bay Park, and that's August 9th from 11 to 3. So looking for a good attendance and to come out and have some fun. Thank you. Well, we had the 3rd of July. The 3rd of July. That happened. I will say that this year, the fireworks show was quick and short. I think it started at, I want to say, almost 9 o'clock, but they had late activities up until that point. They had an MC that was going at it up until, I don't know, probably about maybe 8:30. But after the fireworks show, which was probably about 15 minutes, I think it was, yeah, they immediately dispersed. So I was very thankful because I live right across the street. I had the doggy in hand holding, I have a pet. So she was a little disturbed, but we kept her calm. But nevertheless, I was happy that they dispersed the crowd quickly and, from what I can tell, without any issues. So I think Richmond PD did a great job in that regard. And in the community, the near community, we were thankful for that. So that was it.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Hi, I'm Jen Mignoni. I'm the president of the North and East Neighborhood Council and the vice president of the RNCC. We have, our next meeting will be on the 23rd of July, and it will be a Zoom-only meeting. We've been doing hybrid, but I'm having surgery that morning, so I don't think I'm going to be in a whole lot of fun to be being out in public, so I'll be home. You might not even see me at that meeting. Who knows what goes on. We've been working on our National Night Out. We're doing that on 24th Street between Esmond and Lincoln. Anybody who comes around the north and east may know that that's where the young ladies of the evening like to hang now. They don't go down to 23rd. They come to our neighborhood and in the streets and hang out. So we're hoping to basically really go back to the old time of what National Night Out is about and taking our streets back. We want to, so we're going to be out there. We'll have, we have a group called WAT, which is the Wendell Avenue area team, and they work, we just put up a bunch of lights all along the street and in the alleys, because there's a couple of alleys around there and places like that, so that there's really no dark places. We talked to all the different neighbors, asked them if they wanted more lights, what did they want, this and that. So we did a lot of that. And we also are part of the Contra Costa DA's office task force. So they're working with them too for getting all this done. We've been meeting more often than the task force does because we want to get things moving faster. So we've been working at that. So that's what we're doing next. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Lori Hart. I am the Vice President of the Parchester Village Neighborhood Council and the Secretary for the RNCC. We had a nice and quiet June after a hectic May. We do have 2 more events for Neighbor to Neighbor. We are waiting on approval from the city for one in August. And our final event will be a Dia de la Muertes / Halloween event on actual Halloween. So if you guys are near or from Barchester, come on out. We'll do a trunk or treat, and we'll have some good fun. We'll have a couple of costume contests and a potluck. So we're looking forward to that. And for the rest, I will defer to our president, Ms. Garita.
Good evening. My name is Garetha Johnson. I am the president of Parchester Neighborhood Council and the PIO officer, the information officer for the RNCC. So we had our meeting last week, which was well attended, and like Lori referred to, we're planning a couple of events. We're getting ready for our October event, and also we're getting ready for a watershed project in August. And we participated in Juneteenth, so like after our reveal and then Juneteenth, it's kind of nice to go slow. So I'm glad that our events are not going to happen until August, so we can really catch our breath. We have a dumpster day that's not coming up until September, and that's on the 27th. But that's all I have. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bryce, excuse me, Bryce Aliman, and I'm representing Richmond Village and Metro Square. We have not had a meeting recently, and we do not have one planned for a while, so nothing to report at this time. Oh, and I'm a director at large for the executive board of the RNCC. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go online, Mr. Garcia, would you like to come up and introduce yourself? I know you have a report.
Good evening, everyone, RNCC. My name is Oscar Garcia. I'm president of the Iron Triangle Neighborhood Council. Great to see everyone in person. I wanted to start off with reminding everyone that Chevron recently paid a series of fines that are meant to be reinvested in the community. And so the Air District that will be distributing those funds will be attending our August Neighborhood Council meeting, and it will be attended by the Community Investment Officer at the Air District, and they will be seeking input on how those that settlement and fee funds should be spent in the community. So our August meeting is on August 20th at 5:30 in the Nevin Center. And I'll also make sure to send this information to Arto to email this out to everyone. I think this is a very important meeting, a really good opportunity to make sure that these funds stay in our neighborhoods and not, to random organizations, okay? So highly recommend attendance for that meeting. And as far as a report from the Neighborhood Council, we have our upcoming National Night Out event on August 5th through the Neighbor to Neighbor as well. It's August 5th, 4 to 8 p.m. at the Nevin Center. Hope to see you there. We're going to have a lot of fun food and fun. So hope to see you there. What else? I think that's it for now. And so thank you and great seeing everyone. Thanks.
Thank you. And we are looking forward to seeing Supervisor John Joya at our September meeting to also speak about that grant. So, or not grant, but, so Bryce?
Let's see. Online, if you'd care to introduce yourself and mention what neighborhood you're from, starting with Jim Hansen.
I already gave a report. Thanks. For East Richmond. Oops.
He introduced himself.
Okay. Thank you. Somebody named Darid 23. We'll come back to you. David Alvarado.
Sure. David Alvarado, representing the West County Wastewater District. I am a board director. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And John Bauman, please.
Yeah, John Bauman, Vice President of the Castro Heights Neighborhood Council. Our board meeting will be held tomorrow night. It'll be a Zoom meeting. The main topic we're discussing is replacement of the sound wall along Castro Ranch Road. At the moment, we are awaiting approval from the city for to initiate that project. We've gotten started with tree removal and making sure that the wall is clear on both sides so that we can get started when we get that approval. And if anybody can give me advice on where that stands or what needs to be done to move that forward, I'd appreciate it. And that's it. Thanks.
Thanks so much. Rita Martinez. All right. Rita Martinez. We'll come back to you or just continue on.
Just continue. Yeah.
All right. I believe that's it. If I missed you and you'd like to speak, please raise your hand electronically.
All right. Well, thank you. It is summer. People are on vacation. So once again, COVID is out as well. So take care of yourselves. So we have next our public information officer. But before we get to her, I'd like to say that if you have an announcement for any group, please give the information to our public information officer, Rita Johnson, and please send it in a PDF form. The public information officer will make all the announcements that she sent, and please ensure that the public information officer has announcements before the beginning of the meeting. So that being said.
Okay, I have a couple of things. So on July the 23rd at 5:30 p.m., Grid Alternative will be having a no-cost solar community workshop, and that'll be happening right here in the City Council chambers. And all you need to do is to bring your 2024 tax return, your 1040, and your latest PG&E bill. Okay, and then also Cordell sent me. There's a summer mega mixer and expo on Monday, August the 25th, from 5:30 to 7:30 at Crockett. And it's the Chambers, the name of it is the Chambers and Communities Working Together. Now, this event is free to the chamber members, but non-members, it'll be $15, and it's a no-host bar. But for more information, you can go to admin@bayfrontchamber.com. Again, it's admin@bayfrontchamber.com if you need more information about this event. And I just also wanted to make a note about National Night Out. The kickoff will be in Point Richmond at 5 o'clock, and then the caravan will leave from there, and the caravan will be from 6 to 8. And then the end party will be from 7 to 8:30, but that location is to be announced. They haven't decided on that yet. And that's all I have for today.
It's going to be 23rd Street in front of Rigo's Auto.
Would you like to announce it?
Yeah, because it wasn't in my information that I received.
It just came out in an email today.
Okay.
The end party will be on 23rd Street in front of Rigo's Auto Repair for National Night Out.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for your report. And I don't think it's really an RNCC meeting without Cordell here. And he's missing out on these delicious cupcakes and potato chips. So.
Oh, man, he's going to take that dirty.
Yeah, that's true too. We'll get to our presenter, Daniel Chavarria from our Public Works Director from the City of Richmond.
Good evening. RNCC, my name is Daniel Chavarria. I'm the Public Works Director. KCRT, I don't see the presentation on my screen. We do. Yeah, but I need to turn this on. Oh, okay. We'll move on that one? Oh, yeah, I can move on that.
It's the ghost of Cordell.
Perfect. It's actually refreshing not to have the shield here. Okay. Well, I'm going to try to make a very brief presentation. I have a few slides here for you, giving you a little bit of an update on the CIP Capital Improvement Program, and especially the programmatic approach, which is where we're moving towards. KCIT, next slide, please. We're going to talk about three specific points. I'm going to just remind you all about our CIP dashboard, the Capital Improvement Projects dashboard, some project highlights, and I'm going to talk about the programmatic approach. Next slide, please. So I want to remind everybody that now we have in the city's website on the Public Works, and I'll show the link later, we have our CIP dashboard. In this dashboard, you're going to see a map with all the projects, the 100 active projects that we currently have. Out of those 100, 20 of them are substantially completed, and we are going through the process of, okay, which date we're going to remove those 20. We don't want to remove them just yet. So that's a process. This CIP dashboard has over a year now. I think we made a presentation maybe 14 or 16 months ago when we just launched it, and we're still refining. But one important thing is that you can see, you can go to the map and look for your neighborhood and see what is close by, what's happening around it. You can also check by a council district. You can check by type of project. And and you can see the estimated cost of almost $435 million. And 41 of those 100 active projects are grant funded. Next slide, please. So if this dashboard is an interactive project tool, it centralizes key data for a municipality's plan and ongoing infrastructure projects. Its purpose is to provide clear insight, foster transparency, and aid informed decision-making for all the stakeholders. Now, the link to this specific dashboard is there, but you can also look for it in the city's website, go to Public Works, go to Engineering, and then look for the Capital Improvement Program. Now, for the residents that prefer to have a live interaction or they don't feel comfortable going on the website, they can call our Public Works Administration line at 510-620-5488, 510-620-5488. So the person on the other side of the line, what he or she would do is go to this dashboard and answer your question, and most likely what you're going to ask is, I want to know what's happening in my neighborhood. I want to know if you're going to do this or that. And so what the person is going to do is, can you give me an intersection? So she can go on the map and look for it, right? And then it will tell you what she or he sees on the map. Now, if you get upset because you don't find anything in your neighborhood, don't get upset at that person. That they have nothing to do with it. But they would, if they will give you general information, what is published. More detailed information can be given by the project manager that is also in the CIP dashboard, and he or she can ask for more, ask directly to that project manager for more information. Yeah.
So before you continue, can you tell the audience what capital improvement projects are?
Yes, well, a capital improvement project is any improvement to the infrastructure that we have. I mean, you add value to an asset, right? I mean, from the public works standpoint, our capital improvement projects are infrastructure
but you can have some you can also count technology. You can make an investment that is going to be a capital improvement project, but it's not infrastructure per se, right? It could be equipment. You can buy a fleet, right, and make an improvement to the fleet, buy new fire apparatus, for example. We also count it as a capital improvement project. So a park, a roadway, street lights, traffic lights, sidewalk, sanitary sewer lines replacement, storm drain replacement, an improvement to the wastewater treatment plant. So anything that you can imagine that changing the roof of this building or the carpet even, if it's a significant investment, right? I mean, if it's maintenance, right? I mean, maybe you need to change a portion of the carpet. That's maintenance. That's not a capital improvement project. You're welcome. And for those residents who want to make comments about the CIP dashboard, you can fill the form that you can find in the dashboard, and then we'll, as I said, this is a very recent tool for the city, for us in Public Works, so we welcome all the input that the community can give us. And we have received a few already, even for other staff members, just that we cannot move as fast as people would like to, but we're going to get there. I mean, we're making progress. It's slow, but firm. Next slide, please. So I mentioned 100 capital improvement projects active, and 20 of them already completed, substantially completed. So that leaves our capital improvement program for 80 plus capital improvement projects / programs, and about a little bit over $180 million in capital improvement projects / programs in this fiscal year that we currently are, 25-26. I'm going to talk about now some project highlights, some projects that I want to bring to your attention. Next slide, please. The first one I want to just mention the project revitalizing the historic Richmond Main Library project. This is almost $35 million that we estimate to complete the summer of 2027. So we expect this summer, towards the fall, to be able to beat the project and award the project, but that project is we're going to have to move the library to the auditorium, a lot of services to the auditorium. So some rooms in the auditorium are not going to be available, and that's going to last until the summer of 2027, when they can move back to the upgraded library. We're going to have seismic upgrades and renovation of the building, ADA accessibility improvements to the facilities, repair or replacement of building systems, and various interior and exterior upgrades to create a modern facility while preserving the historical elements of the building. Details about the projects that I'm presenting today, I don't have. I mean, the color of the wall, what type of faucet are you going to use? I mean, I don't have it, but if you want more, you're very curious about it, go to the CIP dashboard, see what we can have there. If you don't find what you're looking for, give a Public Works a call and ask for the project manager for that specific project. Next slide, please. Then we also want to highlight the Harbor A Park project. This is an almost $12 million project. It's in completion this coming fall. So this is developing the first community resilience center in Contra Costa County. The community center is 3,500 square feet with multi-purpose room and kitchen. The park will feature picnic barbecue areas, a multi-activity fun zone, including sand, water play, trampolines, and a climbing structure, an enclosed tot lot, and 100-feet zip line and restrooms. Next slide, please. And I want to point out, I mean, something that I'm not going to say in every single slide, but under the name of the project, you can see a specific sentence. It's called program. And in this specific example that that the KCRT is showing, program is parks and open spaces improvements. That will make sense to the programmatic approach that we're moving towards. So that means that this specific project is under the program Parks and Open Spaces. And I'm talking specifically about the Shields Reed Park Improvement Project, which is a $12 million project, completion next year during the spring. In the south, we'll have a children's play area, bike pump track, performance stage, fitness zone, public art, basketball courts, habitat garden, lighting, and fencing. The north replaces the existing multi-purpose natural grass field with artificial turf, striped for soccer and softball, with new perimeter fencing, backstop, field seating, and field lighting. Next slide, please. Another Parks and Open Space Improvement project under the program, under the program Parks and Open Spaces is the Borman Park Improvements Project. That's over $15 million with completion also next spring. And this is the redesign of a 3.3-acre Borman Park that includes a loop trail, skate zone, multi-purpose field, basketball court, fitness area, children's playgrounds, and a 2-stall restroom, in a shaded community gathering space with picnic and game tables. And I would just want to make a very note here, very small but important, in my opinion, note. And is that this is great investment, right? I mean, this is a capital improvement project. We're putting money to something new, to make a big improvement. And in the past, we have done this. We have done it many times. But we never talk about maintenance. We build this right now, beautiful. 2 months later, what happened? And then you look at staff and say, why aren't you doing your job? Well, do you account for 10% every year for maintenance? Because if you're complaining right now about the weeds on the medians, the weeds on the right-of-way, the weeds on the parks, the garbage in the streets, and so do you think it's going to get better when you have more infrastructure to maintain? So I always wanted people, and this is part of the programmatic approach, you invest $1, put 10% aside every year for the maintenance of that dollar. And we need to be very disciplined that we put that money aside, or we count for that money the next year. So that's what we've been talking, that we need every single year, for everything that we hear from the community, city council, neighborhood council, everybody, is, well, we need about $100 million every year to make improvements and keep up with the maintenance. So, just to give an example, this is the Borman Park is over $15 million, right? So that means that you need $1.5 million every year, not one time, every year, right? So you want to buy a Ferrari, the gas is going to cost you more, right? Next slide, please. Well, another project, and now we are talking about completion in 2028. This is a long-term project. It's a $40 million project under the program Complete Streets, and this is the I-80 Central Interchange Phase 2 project. This project is the second of a two-phase effort to improve traffic congestion at the I-580, I-80 Central Avenue area. This project is wholly funded by grants, including a federal earmark and Measure J. Next slide, please. Another project under the Complete Street program for more than $5 million with completion summer of 2027 is the 13th Street Complete Street project that will improve lighting to increase safety and walkability after dark, reduce traffic speeds, improve sidewalks, and American with Disability Act curb ramps, install better street crossing, plant shade trees and other landscaping, install bicycle facilities. Again, you put street lights, you have to maintain it. You put striping, you have to retouch it. You put landscaping, you have to maintain it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that means that you need about $500,000 every single year. Next slide, please. Now, I'm sorry, I just want to make it, this is kind of in planning, when I say 10% is planning. Sometimes it's going to be less, sometimes it's going to be more. It all depends, but as planning purposes, that's what we recommend. This is a project under program Port Improvements. And this is the terminal, this is a project that we completed this spring. for $7.5 million. Terminal 4 wharf removal project. If you haven't gone there, I invite you to go because it's amazing how clean that is now, how appealing it is and nature friendly. In late 2023, a total of 2,128 tons of debris were removed from the shoreline. In 2024 and 2025, the enhanced rock slope protection was completed, including crown planting, seaweed, and oyster reef elements installation to encourage marine life. Next slide, please. Another project that we completed in the spring this year is the Yellow Brick Road project. However, these have different phases. I'm going to talk about that soon. But this is a project that is under the program Streetscape Improvement and Bicycle and Pedestrian Program. This is a $12.5 million program, and this streetscape project contributed to the community's vision to create a clean, green, and safe street for biking and walking in the Iron Triangle neighborhood. Phase 1 and 2, $12.5 million, which is what I'm presenting right now, are completed. In Phase 3, $5.1 million to be completed during summer 2025. So we have to celebrate all these achievements, but we need to think about maintenance. So before we add more and more, okay, do we have money for maintenance? So we're just going to buy another problem. Next slide, please. The Dirt World Bike Park project, that was one of the locations that I remember the SIP trip from Channel 2 showcase about 3 or 4 weeks ago. It was a very nice showcase of this park. This also is under the program Parks and Open Space Improvements. It was a $1.2 million, was completed this year. The project improved and reconstructed the BMX tracks and bike terrain features to accommodate multiple skill levels. The project also included renovation of a 2-block long segment of the multi-use Class 1 Richmond Greenway Trail, low-maintenance landscaping, murals, signage, fencing, and other park amenities. Next slide, please. This is probably one of the projects that you don't notice at all because it's inside the wastewater treatment plant. But definitely modernize our plant and makes it, improve odors and makes a cleaner treatment. So this is the grit and aeration replacement project, more than $55 million that was completed last summer. They replace aging and unreliable infrastructure, improved treatment operating efficiency, complied with future discharge regulations, and improve the functionality of the existing wastewater treatment plant. And this one is part of the sanitary and wastewater improvement program. So as you can see, there's different programs, and each different project belongs to a different program that I'm going to talk about in a few slides. Next slide, please. We have the flood risk reduction, Rim Creek. This is under the storm drain and watershed program for almost $3 million that also was completed last year. The removal of invasive vegetation and excessive sediment, regrading the creek to establish a stable channel, and the planting of native riparian vegetation. Improvements have been implemented along the segment of Rim Creek extending from Annapolis Avenue to Greenwood Court. Next slide, please. And the last project that we are highlighting here is the Santa Rita Road Stabilization Project. This was an emergency project completed this year under Storm Drain and Watershed Program. $1.2 million, a landslide formed beside Santa Rita Road during the 2023 winter storms. Emergency tarping offered short-term protection. As a permanent fix, a soldier pile wall was constructed to safeguard the public roadway. I think one of the projects that was mentioned to me to kind of give an update was the Parchester area, right? We are coming in August to the City Council to award the consultant that will perform the study. So there are different needs in that area. And there has to be, to address all these needs, you have to follow a sequence. You don't want to build something that then you have to rip off later. So this study is going to provide different options, the different sequences, and the budget needs. So we may have a budget this big, but if we break it into phases, it's more manageable. So we will come back to the City Council to award that study. We expect that by the end of the year, beginning of next year, we'll have a very clear plan of which work we should be doing first, and present to City Council what will be the funding need for every single one of those phases. Now, might be that we receive $500,000 for this study. We probably don't gonna need the whole amount. We don't know yet until we come up. But whatever we have left, we can do it for, or use it for the next phase, okay? That's how we're gonna recommend the City Council, but in the end, they will have the final word. And with that, I finished the highlights, and I pass to the programmatic approach. Can you bring the next slide, please? So the idea with the programmatic approach is, as I mentioned, 100 projects. We can reduce it to 80, but believe me, in every single City Council meeting and meetings like this, people come up with great ideas that not only need money, but also need resources. So when I hear all these ideas, my job is how can I bring this to staff that I know they're tapped out? And we have 80 plus projects and growing, and how we can balance all this, because we are operating on a project by project basis. So projects compete against each other. And when we have the issue of, we're not thinking about maintenance, and we have a deferred maintenance issue that we need to address at the same time. We have limited resources, which is our staff, right? Not only funding, but it's a staff. And one thing that we don't discuss is, well, every project has three main elements. You have cost, you have quality, and you have time. And time and quality is not in the conversations. It's more the cost, which is fine. But the other elements are very important too. The fastest, you cannot have the three at the same time. If you want a project that is fast, the trade-off is quality, the trade-off is cost. You want a project that it has to be good cost and good quality, well, the trade-off is it's gonna take longer. So, because you need more planning, you need to invest more time in planning things right, in coordinating with other including with utility companies and different people, right? So, we realize if we keep going project by project basis, we're just gonna keep making the problem bigger and bigger and bigger. And I believe that's the reason why we lost all our engineering staff at some point. So, okay, we need to retain our staff. We need to think different. So let's start thinking about how we can see things more holistic and more like not on a year-by-year basis, or in project-by-project basis, but in like a program-by-program basis. If we receive a request from a specific city council member, I want this in my district, okay, do the other 5 districts need the same thing? Yes. So how, I mean, the idea is not to put every district to compete. It's not, okay, let's take those needs, put it in a group, and how we can budget so we can do it in a multi-year solution, because everybody wants it now, and it's not possible. We jokingly say this is a city of everything, everywhere, all at once. I haven't seen the movie, but that's the title of one movie, right? So we want to be able to have a conversation in long term. So the programmatic approach is needs, and take the projects that we already have. Okay, this project goes to this need, this other need, this other need. When I call needs, we call it programs, right? That's one. Projects that we're doing. Then we have a list of 40 plus projects. On top of the 100 that I show you, we have a list of 40 plus projects that are not funded yet. And that list keep growing. And how much is it? Well, it's not that it's difficult to get to that answer, but needs time. So the time that I take, okay, staff member A, come and stop everything you're doing and come and answer this question that is going to take you this much time to answer. And then you get that answer, and then, oh no, now give me this other stuff and this other stuff. So if we keep moving that way, we're going to keep losing staff. So it's not like, give me what you need, let me put it in a program, see where it fits, and then we can give you, okay, in the sequence of things, this has to go first, this has to go second, and your request will go third. Not because we don't care, not because it's not important, but you cannot ask a baby to run when he's not even crawling. So let's start with one step at a time. So next slide, please. So you can see here, we have program categories. We have 7. Equipment, well, actually, we have a little bit more, but we have equipment services. We have, you see a lot of lines, but the first one is equipment services. The next one is public buildings and facilities. Then you have parks and open spaces. Then you have Port of Richmond, sanitary sewer and wastewater, storm drain and watershed, technology and transportation. That's 8 categories. And then we have different programs: fleet, building and facility improvements, public safety improvements, encampment and illegal dumping abatement, parks and open space improvements, streetscape improvement, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So now, instead of comparing a park, what we need to fund first, this park or this fire station? And they always ask us, and you say, the park. How dare you don't think about the fire station? Okay, no, the fire station. How dare you don't think about the kids that play? Oh, man, and we never move forward. So, okay, hold on. Let's compare parks with parks only, right? And let's compare fire stations with fire stations only. Because now it helps people say, okay, yeah, I mean, we cannot do all the fire stations at the same time. Even if we have the money, where are you going to put the firefighters, right? So you cannot do all of them at the same time. So that allows all of us to think in sequence. So it's not everything everywhere all at once. It's everything everywhere one at a time. So that's how we're doing the programmatic approach. So next slide, please. Oops. So there's a lot of information in this slide. We're going to take every single one of the programs. Right now we have the programs. We have created teams per program because we have limited resources, limited staff. Some staff members are in different teams. And every team has a leader. And that leader with the team, they are getting together this summer, and they're going, okay, this is the specific program. Let's say parks, because it's very easy to see it. And we have, on the left side, we have adopted projects, and I already mentioned Burman Park, Shields Reed, right? We have adopted projects ongoing. We also have approved and funded projects. Out of the 40-plus list that we have with no funding, there are some of them that are related with parks. So this team is taking that information. Then we have new project requests that come like you're making tacos. Every single day somebody, especially we are scared because this is the time that everybody goes in travel. And especially those folks that go outside the United States, they come with great ideas. Great ideas. And I hear and I try to cover the ears of my staff because what? No, man, I'm out. No, hold on. It's just an idea. Let's see how we can fit it in here, right? And then we have data plans and reports that we have been collecting like in Richmond for many, many years, and I have a slide about them. But you have all that information that we need to analyze and say, okay, what is going to go first? What is going to go second, right? Which one has funding? So, of course, out of this list, we have adopted projects, so that's priority because we have the funding, we're on it right now. But we also have now a new capital improvement project score that I also have a slide about it. So that way it will help the city council compare one project to the other. And that was a discussion that we had with the city council already. The city council adopted this scoring methodology, and that will give one project a higher score than other. That would be something that they will consider. That doesn't mean that they always going to go for the higher one, but that would give some starting point. And then in that slide, you see at the top, input, practical stakeholder community input. And it has to be practical. It has to be something that I have to be honest, we're defining that as well. It's not that we have the answer, but if we're going to have a process that is going to ask every single resident in Richmond what they think about it, number one, we're never going to get consensus. Number two, we're never going to do anything, right? So it goes against making improvement as fast as we can. But it has to be practical, that we can make it in a timely fashion, right? We can give the opportunity to community to provide input. And when I say community, this is part of the community, right? The city council is part of the community. Different groups are part of the community. So for every single need, there's going to be some different community members and different community groups that are going to, that they would like to participate in the input, right? So that's something that we're trying to define. To be honest, we don't have the answers right now. Our goal is to come to the city council with a first draft in October, November of this year to start this conversation. And then all that information, this team of our staff will create a 5-year plan. They're going to put, okay, in year 1, we need to do these projects. In year 2, we need to do these projects. In year 3, these projects. In each project, we're going to have a need, money-wise, very similar. We presented back in November of 2024 what we believe per program that we need on a yearly basis. And we're going through the process of, okay, is it that number that we estimated a year ago, almost a year ago, is it really the number, or we need to fine-tune it, right? So, but what we want is to present to the city council, okay, we told you it's $100 million. We know we don't have $100 million, but let's have a conversation. What program are you going to prioritize? Not what project, what program? Because if you start asking projects, we're going to have a 20-hour meeting, and we're never going to, because everybody's going to go for the project that gets re-election. No, program. So you think more about what is really priority. Is it, for me, more priority, put more money in the program of fire stations, right, than in the program of parks. And it might be it's not a decision of what's more important. It's like, okay, we are already funding a lot of park projects. Maybe it's the time to move to fire stations, right? I'm just saying this is the part of the analysis that is going to happen with the city council, right? So every program is going to have that 5-year plan, but it doesn't end there. Because you may say, or you may see that, okay, we're going to pave Street A in year 3. But it turns out that we also have to replace the sewer line in year 4. So are we going to pave in year 3 just to rip it off in year 4? So we need now to think about the sequence. So there might be areas in the city that for this program, your work is happening 2 years from now, and for this other program, it's happening 5 years from now. So, hey, wait a second. If we do it at the same time, we can leverage the funds of this project and this project, right? And so now we have savings. So better we wait. This need may wait 1 year, and this project we can push it forward 1 more year. So now instead of doing it in year 3 and 5, we do it all in year 4. So the sequence is later when we start combining all these programs, is the sequence. What's the sequence that makes more sense? So imagine the first round is going to be very difficult. The second round is going to be a little bit easier. But after the third round, it's going to be very, very smooth. So now your great ideas come. And it's not like, oh, what are we going to do? Oh, no, hold on. This idea is in which area? Oh, this area here. What do we have in this area? Oh, we have a project 2 years from now. Okay, so are there any element of what we have planned that coincides with this one? Yeah, there's just 10%. Okay, but the other 90%, doesn't make sense to do it at the same time? Yes, so we need to find budget for it. But what happens now is, now we're not going to go after grants just because there's free money. We're going to go after grants that meet what we're looking for. I am not going to have any of my staff members wasting any second of their lives going for a grant that is going to just distract us, just because it's free money. Oh, we're going to have a bunch of balloons. Okay, but how is it going to help us with this complete street project here? Well, no, it's not going to give us nothing. Okay, but that means that now we have to make a commitment here. Your time is going to be divided with that and plus our commitment. No, let's focus on a grant that pays for this project here, right? So that's what we're trying to solve with all the programmatic approach. There are many things here. I know it's a very heavy information, but I just want to give you an idea where we're heading. Next slide, please. And I promise these are the last two or three slides. Next slide. Okay, I mentioned that we have data, plans, and reports. I just want to show you a list of those. As you can see, we have existing plans that go back to 2003, the Richmond Greenway Master Plan. 2010, Richmond Parks Master Plan. So there's some plans that have been done, good work, but they have been just filed because we have not had the discipline to focus on the information that we already have that give us a map, a roadmap to where we're going to go. So we're trying to recoup all this in, okay, what is can we utilize information from these plans in what we want to do now? And we have upcoming plans. We have the public right-of-way ADA transition plan, the zero emission vehicle infrastructure transition plan, and the facility needs assessment. Next slide, please. And this is the scoring, the old scoring system before we implemented the new one. So this is where everybody was scratching their heads in public works, like, okay, we have 3 different scoring systems. Which one is it going to be? Because one is level priority A, mandatory, priority B, necessary, and priority C, desirable. Okay, but we're going to give one of those 3 to all the projects. Oh, but hold on, there's more. Let's add now City Council proposed project criteria, legal compliance, funding obligation, housing facility, health and safety, quality of life. Okay, that's important, but okay, one project is mandatory and has housing facility versus another one that's necessary but has legal compliance, quality of life, and health and safety. Which one ranks higher? I don't know, right? And the third one is by a strategic goal. We have 6 strategic goals, but the same thing. Which one is more important? So it was difficult to, not more important, to rank them and basically to compare them. So we proposed to change this old scoring system, these 3 scoring system, to one single one that goes with numbers. We're engineers, we love numbers. Next slide, please. And this is the new scoring system that the City Council adopted that it takes elements like equity, required work, readiness, deferred maintenance, environment, economics, quality of life, housing, safety, internal infrastructure, plan, and collaborate. And you can see that each of them has different points. Ranking higher is equity and required work, that's 16 points each. Then deferred maintenance and readiness is 12 points each, and so and so. So a project will be evaluated, okay, let's talk about this specific project in equity, how high it ranks, in required work, in deferred maintenance, and readiness, and so forth. And then the maximum that a project can get is 100 points. You're not going to find any project with 100 points. It's not going to happen. But then it's a ranking system from 0 to 100, 100 being the highest, 0 being the lowest. And what I'm saying is we bring from the same specific program, we bring to the City Council, okay, these are all the fire stations. This one ranked 81, this one ranked 78, this one ranked 75. If we go by that, this should go first, this should go second, and so forth, right? But that doesn't tell the whole story, because maybe one, for whatever reason, requires improvements now, that if we don't address it now, it will cost us more later. So there's different other factors, but that gives a starting point to analyze the sequence or that we're going to follow. And I think with that is the last one. Next slide, please. Yep, that's the last one.
Very good. Before we go online for questions, is there anybody in the audience that would like to ask a question? I see Cordell showed up. Yeah, well, there's cupcakes out there. So we'll start. Rock is Garland. Any questions?
Oh, I got a bunch.
How about we start with two.
Several points from your presentation. One, you mentioned that there wasn't always funding for infrastructure or parks, for example. Right now, every time there's a big building project, a percentage of that project money goes to the Arts and Culture Commission. You have never had anything go to parks or infrastructure as it should. I've mentioned this to several people in the city, and they say, well, yeah, it should be, I guess, but nobody wants to push it forward. Since part of that is your department, shouldn't the suggestion be coming from your department to the city council, besides also residents stating that that needs to be done? That'd be the first point. The second point is, for many, many years, we've been proposing projects from our neighborhood to the city. Every few years, the engineering department changes hands, or they come up with a new way of grading the projects or listing the projects. They seem to all get lost in the shuffle over many, many years. You list on the CIP the projects that are funded. Why isn't there a list of all the other projects that aren't funded so that we can see that we're at least still in the mix? And then the next issue is going to be, there's some projects that are bigger than just your department. They involve Caltrans. And I've brought one up to your department recently. But because it involves something bigger than just filling out a form and putting in one paragraph, nobody wants to address it. We need to have a way in which we can meet as a neighborhood with the engineering department for those bigger projects, like something that involves Caltrans. You probably won't be spending the money. More than likely, Caltrans will be. But we have to go through you to get to Caltrans, because Caltrans isn't going to listen to a neighborhood group without the city involvement. And so there needs to be a process wherein those bigger projects, we can get the ear of the engineering department. The other aspect of that is, for example, the I-80 Central project that you mentioned. Prior to COVID, we would get updates, not just from the county, which is one of my major people who are pushing this, but also from the city engineering department. Since COVID, we never have ever heard anything from the engineering department. They never want to come out and give an update on a project. They never want to come out and tell you what's going on with it. I can get somebody from planning to come out if there's a building right there by it, but I can't get anybody from engineering. And so that needs to be tied into the process of giving neighborhoods updates on projects that are ongoing, especially big ones.
Thank you. Would you care to respond?
Yes, but there are different questions there. The first one is in the programmatic approach. When we presented in November, we explained all the programs with all the needs that we receive on a yearly basis. We estimated, roughly speaking, $80 million. But I said 100, right? Where's the other $20 million? Actually, it's a little bit less than 80 million, but the rest comes from 10% for maintenance, 10% for inflation, contingency, or just keeping something there for any unforeseen conditions, and 1.5% for the public art fund. So in the programmatic approach for all the programs, we are asking to always take into account the 1.5% that is part of our municipal code. So that is the first part. The second part you mentioned, the information, and that's what we're trying to do with the CIP dashboard. I mean, believe me, I love to come here and talk to you until midnight.
Not me.
Every day, however, every night. However, it's not the best way or the best use of time because even though I love to stay here until midnight, the next day I'm not as sharp as I would like to be. It's like a staff when they do overtime, right? It's great, but then they start the week not as sharp as they could be. We're trying to find a way, and I have to be honest, it's a process, it's a two-way street, how we can make a process. So far, we put in the CIP dashboard, and we hope that the community can little by little start using it. And that's why we put a form too, to give us comments, how we can improve it, because the more we communicate that way, at least at an initial level, that there's some questions that, okay, this is going, these are all the projects that are there, right? The more a staff can focus on executing the projects. Let me give you another example. We have over 400 requests for traffic calming measures in the city. And every single neighborhood wants to meet with us. We have met with 3 neighborhoods, basically. And, well, so we need 397 more to go. So if we meet every day of working day, we're not gonna even get to all of them in 1 year. So it's not the most efficient way to operate. So that's why how can we make this process in a way that the community can express themselves and the information can get to a staff and they can be put in a list of potential CIP projects. There, as I mentioned, there is a list of 40 plus unfunded projects. Have you checked that list yet? No. It was presented during the budget season to the city council by the finance department. So it's public information. You can go, and I invite everybody listening right now, go to the budget session or the budget season that happened in July. I mean, the last meeting, well, actually, all June, right? Just June. So you only need to look for 3 meetings, or 2 meetings, actually. It was 2 meetings. And then you go to the staff report, and you'll see all the information you're asking is there. Nobody's hiding it. But if we're going to present in every single, how many neighborhood councils are there? If we go to every single one of them, we can. But believe me, things are going to move slower. And that's what I'm always keep saying. It has to be a practical way from the community to submit input. Nowadays, I mean, Richmond has seven council members. I personally don't know any other city has 7. I'm pretty sure they are, but I personally don't know. The Richmond has 3 city council meetings every month. I can bet, well, maybe not, but I don't know any other city in California or in the entire United States that meets 3 times. So I would say maybe a way is that everything goes through the city council member, right?
Yeah.
And and we need to have a system that we don't have it. We have it, but it hasn't been kind of in practice executed. That new capital improvement projects requests can come to the city council and be discussed which ones they're going to support. But that's why we are presenting the programmatic approach. So everything can come in there, presented, this is how much we're going to need, and then they can make decision how much money they want to put in each program.
Thank you. I know we're running a little bit short in time, so we'll start going down the line and we'll come back.
Okay. Anyway, great presentation, okay? This programmatic approach is necessary if people follow it. So you mentioned a couple of things. So all of these projects, these new projects that are now being added and may, based on this point system, may move to the top. So has the city or city council or part of your program, did you take into consideration or request that the city also take into consideration when they're approving new projects, that 10% rule of thumb that you mentioned, okay? So that's one question, because what I see happening is, to Garland's point, projects that have been in the queue for years are just cycling and circling through, right? Because somebody comes in the office and they move to the top and that gets pushed to the bottom. You know, there are various reasons. So how do we make our council accountable and responsible for those projects that have been in the queue that are just as important, and specifically if they address health issues or, you know, possible, you know, claim issues in terms of somebody getting hurt, okay? So that would be more of a CIP, improved maintenance project. So I'm just trying to understand, it's great to have this approach, it's great to have this program, but if you don't have people with, you know, behold to this approach, it's just gonna go like this. So as new projects, those are great projects you presented, by the way, right? But where's that 10% revenue gonna come from to keep that maintenance up? So now we have to put more money over this for these 10 new projects, right, or whatever that number is. But then what about all these other projects? So how does that fit into this picture that you present to the city council that they have to approve, and then come back to the community and say, here's what we are going to uphold to? I mean, because you got to have something that is restricted to a 2-year or 1-year timeline. Anyway, so that's a global concern of mine. I don't know if,
That wasn't a question. Right?
well, I mean, okay, the question is, how is that 10%, okay, rule of thumb, if we were going to take that 10% for new projects, how is that being considered and taken into account for the whole program? And how does that impact the already CIP projects that are in queue? That's 2 questions.
Well, we have mentioned that from the beginning in November, that this is a 10% for maintenance. We have mentioned every time in the city council that we have an opportunity, we reiterate that we need to put aside that amount. And that's what we're going to keep presenting in October or November when we come back with the first draft. My personal goal is that all of you can attend those meetings and participate in those meetings. And also, and this is not personal, I don't know you on a personal level, but is it that also you, us, them, all the community, we can be disciplined enough to, there is a process, it's not going to happen overnight, that whenever we make an investment, it's we're making a commitment.
That's right.
And that we need to keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that the city, as we make these investments and we take care of them, the local economy is going to grow as well. People are going to come and do business here, and there's going to generate more revenue for the city.
Thank you. Rock?
Yes, sir. This might be considered apples and oranges, but just throwing it out there because I've been active for like 20, 25 years, and back then we were discussing, like you said, getting things done. The general plan, and the general plan was 2030, and I know we have like 3 main roads for the general plan, and then a couple areas to downtown and the hilltop. Being that you've got plans and you're putting them together, I was wondering if, because I haven't heard much, the general plan, I know there's certain things they're doing, but is there any type of relevancy, or will it work coincide together?
That's the goal, but that's not only Public Works, it affects other departments. But right now, the way I always describe what is happening in Public Works, we're putting our house in order. We just moved to this new house. We're full of boxes everywhere. We're sometimes opening boxes because we don't remember what are in there, and then we're organizing little by little. Now, that's a process that I think this year we're gonna be very, very, I mean, we're gonna be almost there. But as we organize our house, it allows us to start thinking about those terms and start incorporating, or not incorporate, discussing with other departments, like, for example, you said planning. They're very organized, yes. And in the case of engineering, we lost everybody. I mean, it's like starting from zero.
Yeah, I know you guys have had a lot of staff loss. I'll throw you that. I'll just say that I know the what do you call that? The zoning and everything's been done. So that's just example of getting way ahead. I'll let you, that's all I want. Thank you very much for answering that. Thank you.
Thank you. I know we
I'll
have
be
more
fast.
questions.
I'm
Yes, I
fast.
mean, we have other presenters, but
On
thank you.
the first page of the capital improvement program, you still have the E-Track It on there. Fix that, please. Just take the notes. And second, the 10% that you're planning to put for infrastructure, are we including hiring people to do the infrastructure?
You're talking about the 10% for the maintenance? Yes, that includes, I mean, it's the cost, right? But, and again, it's not, this is what we are proposing. The city council has to approve it. But I think we have had very productive conversations with city council, and I think it's not something that we have felt resistance. They also see it, yeah.
Thank you, Daniel. I think this was a really great presentation, and it was very thorough. Often with the city council meetings, they go on so late that I just, no one can stay up. So I was happy to see all this and digest it, and happy to see that you're looking at retention and what was causing the lack of retention, and trying to get some solutions around there. So you already talked about the request for proposal for Parkchester, so that one's done. My next question is the facility needs assessment that you guys are going to do. Is that including the parks, or is that just all facilities?
Yeah, it includes the parks. So the consultant was awarded in June. So we're working right now in the execution of the contract. Okay. And we actually have a kickoff meeting next week with them. Okay. And but we hire two services under that package. One is a consultant that is going to evaluate every single building that we have, starting with the buildings and parks, right? And why starting with them? Because we have a grant specifically for that, and we need to spend it or use it by the end of this year, so that's our priority. Awesome. And then they will be moving like buildings like this. So we're going to have an analysis of all the systems that we have in the building, the structure, the lighting, everything, right? But the second service that we added to that package is an asset management software that we don't have. Right. And the importance of that is that we're not going to receive a 500-page document in PDF or printed. We're going to receive a software that all that information is there. Right. So imagine 3 years from now, and I say 3 years because that's probably how long it's going to take to get to that point. But it comes, one of the electricians comes to this room because the lights are not working. So he will come with her iPad, fix the lights, and mark it there, and the next person that comes will know that Richard was here on July 14th, 2025, replaced these lights, and now we are 8 months later, something is going on here, right? And now, and this is going to happen with every single aspect of a building. And not only that, we want in the near future, not only the buildings, but all the assets in the city. I'm talking about traffic lights. I'm talking about signs. I'm talking about traffic signals. I mean, everything.
Right. And then is there going to be an element for the community? For example, and I'm sure that Parks and Recs can attest to this, we're having a wonderful problem in Parkchester. We're outgrowing our center. Our last event had 300 people. We can't fit everybody in there. And so I'm hoping that there's a community element where we can talk about that, because this is the planning stages. And although it's a small area, I don't see any place other than to go up. But are they going to look at that? That person may not know, well, we have this many people coming in, so this looks like this is adequate space. It's not. So is there a component where we can let you know that, hey, this is a good problem to have, but we need more room? And the only way that I know, unless they're going to do something else, is to go up. Because you're in the planning stages, and again, looking at capital improvement and funding, that needs to be taken into consideration.
Well, the facility needs assessment is going to analyze what we have, the existing conditions, the existing buildings. The programmatic approach is going to do the improvements, the enhancements. So, but they are going to talk to each other, because to do the enhancements, we need information. And any enhancement that we do, we're going to add it to that system. So if tomorrow all the staff leaves, the next staff will have the system there, all the information there, not like us that we were like opening boxes with no labels. What is in here? What is in here? Right.
You have your file cabinet in order.
Yeah.
Rita, did you have a question?
No.
Bryce?
There's only one online.
Yeah, we have time for one more question.
Okay, iPhone 2. Yeah, I am unmuting you. It is the person with their hand up electronically. I'm pressing ask to unmute. iPhone 2, please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Naomi Williams, and I'm the president in Pullman Neighborhood Council. Now, I heard, I guess his name is Daniels for Public Works. What he mentioned was the Greenway. There are camps with unkept people over there. And the other day, some people were trying to walk down the Greenway, and they saw those tents up on the Carson side of the street, on the Pullman side, and they got afraid and they called me. Well, I can't do anything, so I called Milam. She got in touch with somebody, and they were supposed to go by there and remove those tents. It was 4 of them up right there on the corner of Carson and right behind Ohio. So I was wondering, did they get moved and those people get in some kind of shelter that they can stay in instead of covering up the Greenway?
I don't know the answer, but I'll find out tomorrow morning.
Okay. Will you give me a call, please?
I do know there was at least one tent there this morning at 7:10.
Yeah, there were. Somebody bought some new tents, it looks like, because they were all organized to be in different colors. They were very cute, but they didn't belong there because the people can't walk in that park. I mean, in the on the Greenway, and they getting into people's houses from the Greenway, so that's not good either.
Thank you, Naomi. So Daniel, before we let you go, I just have 2 issues that I want to address. One is that in the city council meeting, you had said that even if the parks were all built out, I don't know if there were 30 of them, it would cost about $100 million to maintain them per year.
No, 100 million, no. I said all the needs, parks, buildings, roadways, complete streets, traffic safety, traffic calming, traffic signals, street lighting, everything that you can imagine, infrastructure, public infrastructure, sanitary sewer replacement, it would cost $100 million a year to improve and maintain at the same time.
Okay, and then what I wanted to bring to your attention is that I'm in the Fairmead Hilltop neighborhood, and that's right by Contra Costa College. We've only got 2 parks in our neighborhood, but both of those parks were leased from the school district. They were next to a school, and one of the parks, the lease was given back. The city gave the lease back, but the other park is on Groom, where we have our dumpster day. That is city or school West Contra Costa Unified School District property, but yet the city of Richmond maintains it. And I know that they are behind on the lease payments. And so I just wanted to bring that to your attention because I don't think that's the only example. I think there are other parks that are next to schools that may be owned by the school district and not the city. So when you start doing your assessments, you may want to look into that before you spend a lot of money on somebody else's property.
Thank you, will do.
And could you tell everybody, before we move on, your email address, your contact information?
Yes, my email address is Daniel_Chavarria, CHAV as in Victor ARRIA. And again, it's Daniel_Chavarria, CHAVARRIA at ci.richmond.ca.us.
And do you have a phone number?
Yes. Oh, hold on. I don't know it by heart. I like to give the city manager's cell phone number just for fun. Office is 510-620-5478. 510-620-5478.
Thank you. And we greatly appreciate your presentation.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We only wish we had more time.
Yeah, and it was before midnight.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. So we will start with city staff reports. From the police department is Lieutenant Decius.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you. Go ahead with
Hard
your...
act to follow, so I'll make it short and sweet for you guys. Let's see here. I'll start off with our staffing numbers. We're still currently at about 118 officers. That's from our chief all the way down. We do have, I believe it's 10 officers in training. 8 of them just graduated the academy about, I want to say 2 weeks and maybe about a month ago. So some are hitting the streets and some will be on the streets here shortly in the training mode. For some of the stats throughout our city, we had a decrease in robberies, aggravated assaults and burglaries. Unfortunately, our stolen vehicles are up about 33%, primarily in the Central District and the Iron Triangle and Atchison Village. Up through July or June, we had 0 murders, but we did have 1 last week. So it is 1 for the year. An event we did this past weekend or this past month was Juneteenth. Very well attended. The parade was actually one of our better routes that we've had. A lot of good traffic control from the officers, so I thank them for that. I want to thank, I believe it was Margarita that said that the fireworks at the end of it actually was seamless in terms of the participants and the attendees leaving the scene. It's nice that it appeared that way. For us, it's always organized chaos, but I do appreciate you at least noticing that we're doing our best and trying to improve it every single year. So thank you on that. A couple of things I want to touch on is our shot spotters. So everyone knows we have microphones throughout the city, which registers gunfire. From last month, it's down 13%. Actually in June from May, which is good. And then from this time last year, it's down about 33%. And year to date, we have 10 shooting incidents, which basically is where we have an identified victim and or we're finding casings and such out there. So that's down from, I think it was 25 or 35 all of last year. And then everyone likes to ask about flock. Over the past month, we've gotten, I believe it's 9 recovered stolen cars utilizing just the flock program, 4 arrests, and then 1 firearm from that. And then our upcoming events we have coming are August 5th, National Night Out. That'll, I believe, start in the Point Richmond neighborhood. And I need to double check where the end party's going to be. That starts at about 5 o'clock. And then we have the Fiestas Patrias Parade, which is on September 13th. That's taking place of the Cinco de Mayo parade, which usually happens up and down 23rd Street. Other than that, I don't have much more to offer right now, so I'm open to any questions.
Thank you. Rock, do you have any? No question. Garland, moving down the line? No? Anyone online? Well, thank you.
I think Naomi has a question.
You got to get up to the mic, bud. Cordell has a question. 7-Eleven?
Yeah, Lieutenant Decius, I'm about to sound like a broken record, but I think last month I had mentioned that the McDonald corridor, it has gotten worse because every time I go past the senior center, it is like it's an issue because one of our very own community members was almost got what do you call it, being taken advantage of, and it's like this is unheard of. So I would hopefully there'll be some extra patrol along near the senior center, and kind of related to that, 7-Eleven is becoming a real issue because just like today, I had called the police once or twice to report people that are like loitering in front of businesses. So I would appreciate some extra patrol around that area and Palace Furniture too.
Thank you.
You got it, Cordell.
I do have a couple questions real quick. Are we back to registering home alarms, or do you know?
Not quite yet, no. They're still getting that up and going. When I spoke to the record specialist last month, there's still some, I guess, some things which need to be addressed. I don't have all the specifics on that, and I don't know when it will be back up and running. But when I see her tomorrow morning, I'll find out and I'll let you know.
Okay. Lori?
Quick question about the fireworks. I want to go on a ride along on one of the new ATVs you guys had. That looked like so much fun. I mean, the ATVs were out for July 3rd, so that's the ride along I want to do. Not with the street stuff. Yeah, I want to go in the ATV. That's all.
Yeah, I believe Chief French and Captain Lopez were riding one of those, and then Officer Souza had his stereo in the other one, having a good time. So,
Music aplenty. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I want to thank you for your report, and once again, stay safe out there, and I guess we'll see you in September. Like the song says.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Do we have anyone from the Richmond Fire Department? Chief Osario?
Yes.
Thank
you. Deputy Fire Chief Rincon here.
Oh, okay.
Glad to see you guys again this evening. Want to briefly go through a fire department update. I'll start with a few emergency incident totals and then discuss a couple things that we worked on in the past month of June. So for us in the month of June, structure fires fortunately were down. By 3, we had a total of 7, previously 10 in the previous month. Vegetation fires up to 9. Our encampment fires increased up 8 additional to 74. A couple more notable things is our EMS incidents, slight increase, but we saw decreases in some of our other notable categories for a total of 1,148 incidents over the month of June. Some of our highlights within the organization, as other departments, we participated in the annual Juneteenth Festival and Parade. We were proud to graduate our Firefighter Recruit Academy on the 20th, which brought us 8 new firefighters who are finishing their first phase of online training and will be working independently as solo firefighters in the next couple weeks. We also finished our first cohort of 2025 of our Youth Academy and graduated 50 cadets. We were also proud to participate in a summer program that we collaborated with other West County public safety agencies, which was a 3-week public safety program that exposed youth to the fire service, dispatch, EMS, as well as potential police careers. Another additional thing that we've done over the last month was we began continued education classes for our CERT program where graduates are able to participate in additional classes to keep up some of their skills. As previously mentioned, we worked collaboratively with RPD throughout the fireworks season. And then in addition to that, preparing for the rest of our wildland fire season, we conducted our annual refresher training for firefighters in preparation for wildland and vegetation fires. And that pretty much sums it up for things that we've covered over the last month, and I'm here for any questions.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, Jan?
There was a fire at the auto repair shop on 23rd and Lincoln. Is it shut down, or do you have any idea what's going on over there?
I think you're talking about the fire that we had on June 20th at the same time as the
21st.
Juneteenth Festival.
It was June 21st.
Oh, I'm sorry,
yes.
the 21st, yeah. During the Juneteenth Festival. I don't have a current status of their facility. It did serve extensive damage, but I can follow up tomorrow and get back to you.
I just wonder, there's still a whole bunch of cars sitting in there and everything, and so I would think people would want to get their cars out of there, but I don't know.
Understood.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I wanted to congratulate you on the 50 cadets. That's great. And I also wanted to ask you, are you guys receiving any special training for these electric cars when they catch fire? It's not like a regular car catching fire. It's pretty much hazardous waste or hazardous conditions. I was just curious if you guys are getting any type of extra training, or does it take any extra training?
The answer to all of your questions is yes. We are conducting additional training as well as doing research as we're talking about new and innovative technology. Fire suppression efforts continue to evolve. So we're making sure that through our training division, we continue to do the research, and our fire crews are working also in conjunction with the fact that we have a hazardous materials team within the city of Richmond that helps us through those fires as well. So we're trying to make sure that our public stays safe and our firefighters stay safe while they're fighting those fires.
Thank you. Do we have any questions online?
I believe we have Naomi.
Excuse me?
I believe we have Naomi. Naomi, go ahead.
Look, I want to talk to Rico. I am so proud of you guys. The parade was really nice. I sit up in Pullman Park right there by the Juneteenth underpass. And you guys did a great job. And I want to thank you guys for it too. And we had more attendance than we've had since we moved over on that side. So I just want to congratulate you and Lieutenant Dish. I can't mispronouncing his name, Dishus. You and him did a wonderful job, and the help you had too. So that's what I want to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Ms.
Naomi. Well, if there are no other questions, we'd like to thank you for your presentation. And again, we'll see you in September.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Okay.
So next we have the mayor's office. Is there anyone representing the mayor's office online or in-house? No? Okay. Economic development.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Antoinette Terrell, Executive Director of Richmond Housing Authority, and I'll be providing the updates for the Economic Development Division. So I'll start with the Richmond Housing Authority. First, I'd like to announce that Eden Housing and Community Housing Development Corporation have been selected as the developer partner for Eastern Village. Just as of today, we went on a site walk with representatives from Eden Housing and with CHDC, and so we are looking forward to starting negotiations with them. Also, there will be a public meeting tomorrow, July 15th, 2025, from 6 to 7 in the City Council chambers and online to discuss our new project, Nevin Plaza Phase 2, which will involve new construction of 76 units for seniors, permanent supportive housing, and individuals with special needs. The link to the meeting can be found on the Richmond Housing Authority's website. For arts and culture, they are currently reviewing applications for the main library renovation art proposals, and they have 4 additional art opportunities that will be posted out within the next 30 days, such as the Neighborhood Public Art Mini Grant, Art Inventory Professional Photographers, Cultural Plan Strategic Plan Consultant, and they'll be putting out a request for qualifications for California Contractors State License Board Vendor Registry. For business development, their ARPA Small Business Support Program continues to award grants to businesses affected by COVID. The program is progressing and is scheduled to be complete around September of this year. As of July 11th, approximately $232,000 has been distributed to 33 Richmond businesses. Their on-demand business support program is being developed with the goal of opening to applicants in the next few months. This program will offer support to existing businesses and also those folks that are looking to start businesses, and with giving services such as business plan development, marketing, and resource referral. And just a few announcements for business development and economic development. Our commission meets on the second Wednesday of each month, and there are open commissioner positions. So those that are interested in helping grow Richmond's economy, we encourage you to please submit an application and apply. And then the event that will be happening is the 2025 Music on Main will be at The Lot, the downtown Richmond food court, on Thursday, July 24th, 2025, starting at 5 o'clock. And I will now hand it over to Samantha Carr to provide the update for environmental and health.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Samantha Carr, Environmental Manager. Also joining me this evening is Deputy City Manager Nikki Maste. I wanted to give an update on the current solid waste services and the current solidarity strike. So I just wanted to make sure to share with everybody, starting tonight, please leave your garbage bin out at the curb. Make sure to include, bag up any additional trash that you might have and leave it next to the bins. And leave it out until it is serviced this week. I've also brought with us additional bags, so if you'd like to take a roll to distribute within your neighborhood, please feel free. The city is also offering bags at City Hall, and will be doing so for their Tuesday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. until 7 p.m. They can be picked up first floor at the security desk. So a concern was brought up regarding seniors and residents with disabilities accessing and making sure they get their garbage bins only service this week. So if residents would like to, seniors or any residents with disabilities need additional assistance, so please have them call the City of Richmond at 510-620-5407, that's my number, and leave a voicemail with their name, address, and contact phone number. We'll be collecting that information, sharing it with Republic Services, who will send staff to support and pick up the bag trash for the seniors or any residents with disabilities who are able to set their garbage bins or bags to the curb. Additionally, in addition to all that, residents are still able to drop off a maximum of 4 bags of household trash at no cost at the Golden Bear Transfer Station, which is located at 1 Parr Boulevard. They're open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I also want to note, our main locations for posting updates for the city has been the city's website. There's a little alert bar up top on the city's website. You can click on that, and that'll provide updated information. Also on the city's Facebook as well as Instagram. Also in the Instagram post, the Facebook post, the city web post, and the paper that I gave out. There's also the link to the Republic Services Richmond webpage, and they are also posting updates there as well. They are also, in addition to that, Republic Services does send out the robocalls with the updated information. And now I want to open it up for any questions regarding the solid waste services interruption that has been occurring the last week.
Any questions to my left? No? What?
Do you know if the dumpster day is going to resume or at what point it might?
And just to clarify, the neighborhood dumpster days?
Yeah.
Okay, so they have not been interrupted. So this past Saturday, we did have the neighborhood dumpster day for Laurel Park. I will, however, definitely, I know there's an event for the Southwest Panhandle Annex coming up this Saturday, so I will check in with Republic Services to confirm that they have the drivers available for the neighborhood dumpster day this Saturday, just to confirm that they are still able to complete and service that event. I will connect with Stephanie, and Stephanie can send out that information.
Thank you.
I've had people ask me questions regarding refunds and if there were going to be some issued.
We are unsure at this time, but once we know, we'll definitely share that information with everybody.
Do we have any questions online? Seeing none? No?
Okay.
Thank you.
Main takeaway, put the bins out on the curb tonight with your bags.
Yeah, they're only accepting the brown, right? So
Correct, only
put your
brown.
green and blue back in your backyard.
Yeah, so they're describing it as limited services this week. Okay.
Thank you.
And then if you ever have any questions, again, my phone number, 510-620-5407. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for the number for the seniors.
So, Community Services, Stephanie Nye. Hope you're feeling better. Getting there? Good.
Good evening, everybody. This is Stephanie Nye, City of Richmond Community Services Department and Public Works, Staff Liaison to the RNCC. I'm hoping to keep it brief tonight, but I just want to give you your monthly reminder that the neighborhood councils have access to use our community centers for your regular in-person meetings at no cost, as well as your one free annual event. You also have access to our printing and mailing services. Please contact us for your print jobs. They should be submitted 2 weeks before you'd like to pick them up from City Hall. For dumpster days, excuse me, this is just a reminder that we have some rules that are being enforced. That includes no business vehicles or U-Hauls are allowed at dumpster days, and also no fundraising or collection of dues are allowed at dumpster days as well. If you have any questions or concerns about any of the changes that have been happening with dumpster days, please do let me know, preferably through email, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Currently, yes, it's still one pickup truckload per resident. A few closures of our facilities. The Richmond Plunge continues to be closed for maintenance. Please check the aquatics webpage on the city website or call our registration office if you'd like to inquire about the status of it. The Annex Senior Center will also be closed from Monday, July 14th through Thursday, July 31st. Programs will temporarily be relocated to the auditorium, which is 403 Civic Center Plaza. In terms of events, we have our annual Movies in the Park series coming up. Our first one was held last Friday. We showed Inside Out 2 at Lemoyne Park. Our next one will be July 25th. We're showing Mufasa at Tiller Park, and the movie will start at 8 p.m. or sunset. August 8th at 8 p.m. or sunset, we'll show Moana 2 at Marina Bay Park. And our last event of the series, August 22nd, will show Sonic 3 at the Richmond Recreation Complex. We're also excited to announce that we are hosting Kids to Parks Day at Booker T. Anderson Park, Wednesday, August 6th from 12:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Come blend your own smoothie with us on our smoothie bike, or join us for sports such as pickleball, volleyball, and soccer. We're also trying to bring some exciting adventure activities to be announced, so stay tuned. We're excited to let you know that we've concluded our needs assessment survey for the Richmond Tool Library and mobile tool libraries. Thank you to over 500 participants in our survey. We're currently analyzing the results, and we hope to announce our new hours for the Richmond Tool Library sometime next month and start these expanded hours of operation in September. In the meantime, find us at the Recreation Complex every Wednesday from 1 to 5 p.m. We are also accepting registration for our after-school programs. Please contact our registration office to register children in kindergarten through 8th grade in any of our programs. We're offering summer youth tennis in collaboration with Youth Tennis Advantage, Mondays through Fridays from now through August 8th for ages 8 through 18 years old. And lastly, we continue to offer our Zumba classes at the Recreation Complex. Please join us Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 to 8 p.m., or Saturdays, 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. Classes are $6 per class. Oh, actually, I want to mention one more thing. If you guys have any volunteer community beautification projects that you'd like to host, please contact me. We have our Love Your Block in-kind sponsorship program that accepts applications on a rolling basis. This program provides you with supplies such as garbage bags, tools, food for volunteers for volunteer beautification events. So if you want to hold a trash pickup at one of our parks or on the street or sidewalk, I guess, this is a great opportunity to help provide resources for that.
What was the name of the program again? Sorry.
Love Your Block.
Oh, that's the Love Your Block.
Yeah, in-kind sponsorship program. And I'll leave you guys with, before I hand it over to Alexis, I'll leave you guys with the registration office phone number, 510-620-6793. And if you have any questions, always feel free to contact me, Stephanie Nye, 510-620-6563. Any questions before I hand it over to Alexis for Neighbor to Neighbor?
Go ahead.
Will you guys print flyers for National Night Out?
Yes.
Any questions online? My one question is that in my neighborhood, we have some seniors that are housebound and that are on fixed incomes that live by themselves, and they were asking me if maybe you can direct me on how we can create a program to help seniors paint their homes, maybe fix up their houses a little bit.
I think that's a great idea. We did actually used to have a program
did.
many years ago. I think it was
Yeah.
like Helping Hands or something like
Yeah.
that. I think we would need to identify grant funding in order to be able to fund something like that. But we don't have the resources at this time.
How could I start the ball rolling? Talk to the city manager, city council?
Well, let me, I don't have an answer right now, but I could get back to you
Okay,
about that.
thank you, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? That's it? All right, well, thank you, Stephanie, as always, and get well soon.
Thank you.
All right, so, oh, I'm sorry.
Good evening. Alexis here with Neighbor to Neighbor to give you guys just a brief update of Neighbor to Neighbor grants that have been going on around the city. So recent Into It events was our City of Richmond June 18th Hiking for Pancakes, which was at Marina Bay Trail. Our Hilltop District Neighborhood Council hosted their first Into It event, which was Hilltop Emergency Preparedness. North and East Neighborhood Council had their Art in the Park. community engagement activity. Atchison Village also hosted their first neighbor-to-neighbor event, which was Neighbor Meeting Neighbor CRT gathering. And lastly, we finished off with our July 3rd, which was Stars, Stripes, and Social Vibes, which we were able to have a community bingo game and raffle off about 3 bags that had neighbor-to-neighbor t-shirts and a box of C's candy. Upcoming events for the remainder of July, we have our City of Richmond Art with Neighbors acrylic painting class, which will be occurring at BTA from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Next will be Shields Read, in which that will be July 31st. Sorry, I did not say the first date for the first activity. That will be this Sunday, July 20th at BTA. Next is Shields Read Neighborhood Council will be having an event on July 31st, which it will be a walking field trip and kite making. Our August events, starting with Floral Park, which will be having a paint and sip on Saturday, August 2nd. And like you guys have been talking about, Tuesday, August 5th, which is National Night Out, there is neighborhood councils who will be in partnership with N2N. That is Greenbrier, which will be happening at Kipling Court, North and East at Wendell Park, Point Richmond, which we all know is the kickoff for Point Richmond Town Triangle. Iron Triangle will be at Nevin Community Center, May Valley at Lemoy Park. Coronado Neighborhood Council will be at 212 South 17th Street. And lastly is Santa Fe at Southside Park. And to complete just the middle of August events for Saturday, August 9th, Richmond Annex will be having a safety fair, which will be hosted again by Richmond Annex Neighborhood Council. And lastly, definitely not least, that same day, Marina Bay will be hosting their N2N community event. Thank you for your attention and have a good evening.
Well, thank you. Are there any questions or no? Well, thank you for that information. Greatly appreciated. So moving on, is there anyone here from the planning department?
Yes, Avery Stark, Acting Planning Manager here with the
Thank
City
you,
of
Avery.
Richmond in the Planning Division. Good evening, everyone, and RNCC members. Thank you for the time. I will keep it brief as we're already at 9 p.m. Just wanted to give a few quick updates as this Planning Division, along with Community Development, Building, Code Enforcement, and our partners in Fire and other divisions have fully transitioned into our new online permit system, IMS. Again, this is a live portal for both residents and applicants of new construction or new buildings to seek permits. It's also where you get your business license and other permits that the city issues. So we just encourage residents and neighborhood councils. You're welcome to create accounts and stay engaged with development projects in your area. By creating an account, it does give you access and the ability to review more of the reports that are set up under each of the different divisions within IMS. So like, for example, the neighborhood report for this group is available online. You can access it 24/7. And as projects get submitted and are deemed complete and are under review, they will pop up on that list. So you kind of can have a more live time access to that information. A few other updates. This week, we will be taking to Planning Commission on the 17th, the update to the accessory dwelling unit and the ADU ordinance, which is to come into substantial compliance with the state law regarding ADUs and the number of different government code sections that were consolidated earlier this year. It also is going to be our launch and announcement, and you're getting a little preview here, of the ADU toolkit that has been long awaited, that was produced and put together by our consultants Opticos, in addition to our 4 pre-approved ADU plan sets in 4 different styles for both 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom variations. The city's planning division ADU page is being updated kind of daily right now as we get some of those final touches added, but the plans will become available on Thursday with all the instructions for any residents who would like to take advantage of this program and access those free plans. Again, these are pre-approved ADU plans in various sizes, again, from 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom in various design types to facilitate the further development and production of naturally affordable housing in the city of Richmond, and to reduce costs and barriers to the production of accessory dwelling units in our city. In addition to that, we will also be taking further this year, later this year, probably in August or October, an update to the safety and noise element as a part of the general plan. This is a subsequent update that has been in the works for a year or so. There were some recent updated state mandates that we include in our safety and noise element that also dovetail into fire's work with our some of the fire maps and high fire severity zones, the presentation that the chief gave probably a month or maybe 2 months ago. So there's some continuing coordination between departments. Right now, the focus of the planning division has been particularly on the progress of our 6th cycle housing element. So as many are aware, the City of Richmond is required by state law to find ways to make easier the production of housing, particularly affordable housing in various incomes through RENA, and it is implemented through the 6th cycle housing element, which is a component of our general plan. So we've got updates coming to our website along with different zoning code updates that will be presented to both Planning Commission and City Council over the course of this year and next year, and as we move through the next 6 years of the 8-year cycle into 2031. So just to be aware that there's more in the works in terms of updates for compliance there. A few big things. So a few people have probably heard, if not, that Governor Newsom signed AB 130 and SB 131 on June 30th this year, which is being considered a major reform to the California Environmental Quality Act, or as we refer to it as CEQA. These were trailer bills as a part of the budget that was passed and signed into law and put into effect immediately. The primary focus here is on exempting infill housing, advanced manufacturing, transit-oriented development, and a certain set of wildfire mitigation projects from environmental review, making it easier and less timely or time costly for developers to bring projects to life and be able to break ground. And if you've got questions about those bills, please feel free to reach out to me. In addition to that, the state also created a new California Housing of Homeless Agency, CHHA, which will be established, was established as of July 1st of this year. Again, the governor's approach to helping the cities in response to county work to provide homeless services to both our residents and countywide in a more strategic manner. Other updates in the planning division, with a little bit of sadness, we have lost one of our planners, Christy Ellabrook, who was with the city for almost 2 years, but we are excited as she continues her educational career and is starting at Yale in the fall in a dual master's of architecture and urban design along with environmental sciences. So we are down one staff person at the moment and we have one vacancy, but we're very excited for Christy as she continues her educational career and hope that someday she boomerangs back with all of her experience. Other than that, I don't have any other major planning updates. Yeah, just available for any questions that anyone may have. If there's anything I can help answer, I'm available.
Thank you. Garland?
You mentioned that you're also taking items for abatement for code enforcement.
Code enforcement abatement is handled by Eva Mann, the code enforcement manager within community development. Is there something you'd like me to pass along to her directly?
Police department's aware, but there's a encampment near the corner of San Luis and Central Avenue, and their refuge is going down onto the sidewalk and also into the street. It's been an ongoing problem for about 2 weeks, and the police department, I'm sure, has been by before. Probably code enforcement will need to go by every couple of days, unfortunately.
Thank you for that. I will pass that along to Eva tomorrow.
Do we have any?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. 2 questions. Avery, what is the status with the Craneway and also the Transmontane project?
So in regards, thank you for that question. I'll start with the Transmontane project. So the most recent update is we are currently in the internal review of the initial study and an it's an initial study and mitigative negative declaration regarding the potential impacts of that project on the environment. It has been found that based on their potential impacts, the traffic impact, which is now being done under VMT, which is vehicle miles traveled, needs to be looked at a little bit closer because the projections that were provided may exceed to a point of potential significant impact. So we are working with Transmontane and LSA, our consultant who's doing the environmental CEQA clearance, to ensure that proper studies and analysis are done to be able to present a complete ISMND to the Planning Commission in the upcoming months. At this point, I don't have an update on that results of those study, but those will be published as a part of the Planning Commission packet as it goes forward in its approval process. So right now, it's basically on pause as we complete the environmental work. And in regards to the Craneway, at this point, from my understanding of what has transpired, is that the pickleball current operations have ceased at this point. It is my understanding that the current leaseholder is in ongoing discussions with city staff and city attorney and city manager regarding next steps in terms of what to do with that lease and how to proceed, but that is all I know at this point. But the city would continue to provide information as it becomes available regarding the Craneway's operations, if that lease is to be transferred or if a new leaseholder is to be assigned.
Okay, thank you. Just one follow-up on the Transmontane. You said you're continuing with the analysis. So just want to confirm that the planning department will also release that to the community so that we have an opportunity to respond?
Absolutely, yep. So once the analysis is complete and staff has reviewed and confirmed it, we will release the analysis as a public notice for 45 days of public review, where any member of the public would be able to provide comment or ask questions regarding that analysis. And then we would subsequently follow up with responses to those comments or questions, either directly with parties or as a part of the official draft initial study and IMND that gets presented to the Planning Commission. So there will certainly be an opportunity for public review of that document and all of its studies and analyses that come with it, along with a public hearing regarding the project's expansion and improvement to the site.
Okay, thank you.
You're very
Any
welcome.
other questions? Okay, I have a couple of questions for you, Avery. Last we spoke, we were presented that you may be presenting to the City Council about the Hilltop Horizon site-specific plan in October, November. Does that still look like a realistic date?
Yep, so the Planning Division is preparing to bring a study session to the Planning Commission in mid to late August. I do not have the date off the top of my head. We were just discussing things today and finalizing that. But as soon as that date is set, we will announce that and make sure that everyone is aware and be sure to, it'll be on our Facebook, or not our Facebook, on our website, and along with a notification in the agenda for the Planning Commission. That is still scheduled for August, and that's the Planning Commission. In regards to council, we are looking at the beginning of September, maybe mid-September. A lot of that has to do with just scheduling on the agenda and making sure that there is ample time between when we take the item to Planning Commission and receive feedback and direction, that we're able to digest and distill that and to be able to present that information to council with at least probably 30 days in between, as there may be a fair amount of information or questions that get asked that need to be responded to. But any of those meeting dates will be posted on the City of Richmond's Planning Division website, along with, or in addition to the Richmond, the specific plan website that we have dedicated for the Hilltop Horizon Plan.
Thank you. As I stated earlier, I was at a mayor's conference and I spoke to a senator about ADUs and the state's mandate and how they're pushing ADUs. What came to light was the fact that when people build ADUs with a permit, it could trigger the county coming in and reassessing your home. So if you had bought your home for $180,000 and the current market value is $600,000, then you will end up paying those property taxes. Is that something that's been discussed?
Not exactly. The reassessment by the county is done only on the improvement of the total square footage of the ADU to the site, not to the home that currently resides on the property. So although a reassessment is triggered, it is not on the existing single-family home. It is only on the new ADU that's been developed, its total square footage as it relates to the property value.
Okay, thank you. Are there any comments, questions? Well, thank you for your presentation. Greatly appreciated, as always. And once again, I guess we'll see you in September.
That's good. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you. So next we have Public Works, Carlos Castro.
Sorry to disappoint.
Well, you know,
Carlos is on vacation, so well-deserved vacation. And since I was going to be here, I also told Darren don't need to come. Well, I have a presentation for you, but KCRT, don't put the one with 100 slides, please. Use the one with 40.
Oh, 40.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So I'm trying to get my way out of the meeting, like saying, let's not invite this guy anymore. It's too much. So very quickly, I mean, we started the paving season. That includes striping as well. As you know, because we have received a lot of complaints, weeds are very high these days. Our staff is focused a lot on the wildfire prevention areas first. Now we're moving here, although since Saturday we provided a lot of support to the 4 sites to collect garbage. So some of our staff members that usually do weed abatement, they were there. The good news about the plunge, we have replaced all the parts that we needed. Right now, we're monitoring the imbalancing the chemicals, so we expect this week that's going to be stabilized, and then we'll work also with community services to establish the data where we're going to put it back on. With that, I'm going to just leave it for you for questions.
Any questions?
I'm sorry. We tend to spend a lot of money on that plunge for it not to be working. So, I mean, it's been closed a lot over the years. So are we looking at that thoroughly as to what's causing this?
Yeah, we're taking a look at that one. There's a specific piece that is not readily available, so we need to probably get an additional part to have it handy. But that's one of many facilities that need a lot of care and love. So, but that's part of the facility needs assessment to make sure that we can anticipate this type of useful life issues with the parts that we can order in ahead of time.
I had a quick question about, more comment. With the paving, we need to make sure that we work with Veolia, with everybody doing stuff. They did some, it was East Bay Mud did some work on 30th between Roosevelt and Clinton. And I had talked to Carlos about it. He said, they said they're done. They're not going to do anything else. And the road is literally bumpity, bumpity, bump, and I'm like, it was much better shape before they dug their, trenches for their new, it was for new gas hookups. So, I mean, it might be important that we keep an eye, when these people want to do stuff, we don't just say, oh, sure, go ahead. Because I've had Veolia on my street, just, holes and holes and holes. And it was just we just finally got it paved about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. But it was much better than it had been, So it just kind of making sure we can work with them. Because I know Carlos would say yes, but you're the boss, so I'll make sure you know.
Yeah, in the programmatic approach, our paving program is specifically, that's with a 5-year plan. That's information that we're going to coordinate with utility companies. So sometimes their projects determine the sequence because they may not be able to accelerate the way we want it, and we don't want to go fix something and then they come back and they come after us, and then it's so it's part of it. Yeah.
Any questions online? No? Well, I wanted to commend Carlos. He's done a great job. Since you're his boss, he's done an outstanding job here at the meetings and out in the field. So we want to give him 2 thumbs up. Also, I've been asking him for quite some time, and I guess the sign shop is still working on some of the street sweeping signs for Parchester Village and the Fairmead Hilltop area.
Yes, and what happens is we have a vendor that is walking all the 400 plus miles of sidewalk that identifying where we're missing signs, what type of signs need replacement, what type of signs are missing, what type of signs are basically they're in good conditions, what type of signs need to be relocated. So all that information is being picked up in the entire city, and by the end of the year, we'll have all that in a map for us to start able to plan, okay, we're going to need to replace this many signs. It's going to take us this time. So we're going to be balancing, okay, is this something that we can do in-house? If we're doing, well, we can do in-house. It's how long it would take us to do in-house versus how long it would take us to hire somebody and so forth. So yes, we're working on it, but it's in the entire city, not only in Parchester, in the entire city.
Well, thank you. Doing a great job. Thank you, Daniel. You do a great job in your position, and once again, Carlos, he makes you shine. So,
thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Thank you for your time. So, moving on, we're at old business. We have RNCC has a retreat in August. I think we've nailed down the Parchester Village, or have we? Or have we? Okay, we're looking for an event. And I'm sure Cordell has something he'd like to add.
And first, I do apologize for coming late. I was in another meeting next door I'm part of the Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory Committee, so that's why I was late. And I'm like, RNCC time. So, but I do have a couple of suggestions to bring to the board forward. So one is, I was thinking at a later time is to invite the new superintendent of the school district, Cheryl Cotton, to come and present to you all about what's going on with the district and how she plans to, handle some of the tardies. So that was one suggestion. And then the second topic I brought up was like, if you recall a couple months back, I had suggested to invite Cindy Howell to come speak to you all to talk to us about diabetes, like for mature folks. And I said, that's a simple solution because I was reading the studies and it shows that older adults are dealing with diabetes. And I said, okay, that's a good idea. So it's to have Cindy Howell come speak to you all at a later time. So, but I did save the best news for last. So Ardo did mention about the mayor's conference. So there is one coming up in September, the 4th, and that will be held in El Cerrito. But you have to RSVP ahead. So by mid-August, so it should be coming out. So, and it's still $70, and that includes dinner.
It's a good dinner. Thank you. So, any new business? No. Okay. And so we have an upcoming meeting on September 8th. I thought it was a second week.
That is the second week of September. That's the second Monday in September.
Okay. All right. So September 8th it is, RNCC board meeting. And I guess this is the part, unless somebody has something they want to close with. I do. Okay.
Parchester lost another centenarian. We had Miss Alice Sims, who actually was the oldest member of our Parchester Village Neighborhood Council. I think she turned the books over to read it 2 months prior to dying. She lived to be 115 days. So yes, we've had quite a few centenarians in Parchester. So told Rita, hang on, you got a whole lot more living to do. But in her name, I'd like to to close this meeting.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming. It is 9:23, and we will see you next time. See you in September. Bye-bye.